Understanding government secrecy and public trust in surveillance programs. Exploring the balance between government classified information and public trust in surveillance, and how secrecy impacts transparency and privacy concerns. Government secrecy and public trust in surveillance programs. You ever notice how whenever a new surveillance program gets revealed, there's this immediate wave of skepticism and concern? I mean, it's not like secret government operations are new. But what really fuels the fire is the feeling that we're pretty much left in the dark about what's happening behind closed doors. It's like being in a relationship where one side keeps things classified, and you're just supposed to trust them blindly. That's where government classified information and government confidentiality come into play. But the bigger issue goes beyond just secrecy. It's about trust. The thing is, government information secrecy isn't always about hiding something nefarious. Sometimes it's about protecting national security or safeguarding sensitive operations. But from the outside looking in, all that government document secrecy can feel more like a wall built to keep citizens away from the truth. And when you layer that with government secret policies around surveillance, it's no surprise people worry about invasions of privacy and misuse of power. Now, government transparency issues become an unavoidable topic whenever these surveillance programs come to light. You've probably heard about whistleblowers or leaks that expose just how extensive some of these operations really are. The problem is, the government often balances carefully on a tightrope, attempting to maintain confidentiality while trying not to alienate the public it's supposed to serve. Unfortunately, that balance isn't always well maintained. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of meaningful communication. Imagine if you found out your phone's been tapped or your emails were scanned, but the government only ever gives vague, half-explanations or refuses to comment due to classified reasons. That breeds suspicion. When people can't verify what's true or false, they fill the blanks with their own fears and assumptions, which isn't a great way to build trust in public institutions. It's also worth noting that in an age where information is everywhere, government classified information feels paradoxically more crucial and more vulnerable at the same time. Protecting details from exposure is essential for security, but the growing hunger for accountability means citizens demand greater insight. And this tension pops up repeatedly in debates about surveillance laws and privacy rights. Interestingly, fictional stories sometimes reflect these real-world frustrations in ways that hit home. For example, Hush, a psychological thriller of alien manipulation and deep state deceit, explores some of the hidden mechanisms behind government secrecy and how manipulation operates at a psychological level. It's a gripping read that really captures the unsettling mix of mistrust, governmental secrecy, and conspiracy theories that swirl around surveillance programs. So where does this leave us? Should we demand complete transparency, or is some level of government confidentiality unavoidable? The truth is, it's a delicate balance. Governments must protect their operations to ensure security, but at the same time, their actions should never erode the trust they need to function effectively. Trust is a two-way street. Officials need to provide as much information as possible without compromising security. Public oversight matters. Independent watchdogs and legislative checks can help limit abuses behind government secret policies. Clear communication is essential. Rather than dismissing all inquiries as threats to security, transparency about what can be shared would go a long way. Ultimately, navigating government information secrecy and transparency issues isn't just about policies. It's about how those policies affect everyday people's sense of safety, privacy, and respect. When governments take the time to engage openly, rather than bury concerns under layers of confidentiality, that's when real trust can start to grow. If you find this topic intriguing and want to experience those underrated layers of secrecy and manipulation in a suspenseful, story-driven way, I highly recommend checking out Hush, a psychological thriller of alien manipulation and deep state deceit. You can buy it now in ebook, print, or audio format, whichever fits your style, and get a gripping perspective on government secrecy like you've never seen before.